Hey, what's up everyone? Mendel here. I hope you are doing awesome and wonderful. Man, there is one thing I just have to tell you before we go on. Okay, get ready. Here we go. For the past 3 years, I've been working on something. Can't tell you yet what it is, but there's a link in the description box down below to my newsletter. If you subscribe to this newsletter, I will just give you free tips, and maybe you'll get hopefully next month, maybe an early bird something about this thing that I've been working on for the past 3 years that might help you with your mixing, mastering, or guitar playing. So make sure to check out that link in the description box down below. Subscribe to the newsletter. Won't cost you anything. Hey, means a lot. And I know you're gonna dig it. So thanks for that support. Let's dive into reverbs. Here we go. So look what we have here. So this is the session of the song. If you like the song, then as always, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, hit that belly thing. That'd be much appreciated. Quick little listen again. I thought it was a cool rock song. Something different instead of like real metal stuff. Bit more groovy rock. I think it's cool and groovy, and I did something in this that I think, like for main guitars, haven't done a lot, maybe even ever, is putting reverb on guitar. So here we have a new reverb from IK Multimedia, the Sunset Studio Reverb 2. Now, Sunset Studio, if you know, this is like where the Doors, the Beach Boys, Van Halen, Prince recorded their stuff. And now basically you have that sound, the reverberation of like the rooms in plugin format. And I thought it would be a cool thing to show because I dig it how it sounds here. Before we're going to dive into tweaky stuff, make sure to listen on some good speakers or headphones, because I'm routing the drums. Let me just remove this here. Like the hi-hat and the overall drum bus and the guitars are going into this reverb. And here it is. And just take a listen what happens if I mute the reverb. In my opinion, the mix becomes a bit more small-ish. Here we go. So I'll put it on mute so you can see it right here. Here we go. Now that you feel that, it's pretty subtle because I don't have like the whole mix drowned in reverb. But it's like when I put it on mute, it's a bit like I'm not sure what this means, but it's like a bit smaller. Now let's put this thing on solo, and this is what it's doing to the mix. Now for example, when I solo the drums here, let me just mute the guitars and the bass. Do you feel it becomes a bit more smaller? I'm just going to make it a bit more obvious. So I'm going to put the send at like -8. Also adding some weight. Let's do the same thing with the guitar. So I'll mute the drums. Let's unmute the guitars. Like the guitars become a bit more drier. For this mix, I would say too dry. Now there's like so much you can do here. So for example, the first thing. So let's do this with drums first. I'm just gonna solo the drums, put them a bit too obvious in the mix. So here we have the drums. So first of all, we can choose where it's in the space. So for example, now I have it in the middle. Different sounds, whatever you like. Let's make it a bit more obvious even. So there's that. We have different studios. So for example, let me play the drums here again. It's up to you. We even have, like, for example, we have the live room here. We have the ISO booth. Chamber. A plate. Options are endless. So how I used it, I just used Studio 1. Now actually when I switch back to Studio 1, I think I prefer Studio 3. Put that back on, what was it, -12? Let's go to the guitars. Like, the thing I personally love about this reverb, to my ears, and I'm not a reverb expert in any way. I've tested I don't know how many, but I don't consider myself an expert. But it feels like I'm in the space, which is like even coming out of just two speakers, or these two speakers, it feels like I'm in the space. So that's the only thing I'm going for. Like, just want to put on the reverb. Do I feel it? Yeah, then it's good. If I don't, it's gonna move out. And I dig it. It's pretty cool. There's a real cool vibe going on in here. Now these guys went down into the rabbit hole because not only can we choose these different studios and you have these options here, but they also have 3 different damping options. The dampening of the studio itself. So we couldn't do full damping. Let's put this a bit more back. I'm gonna put this at -12 as well. Just that tail. Do we just hear the tail? Let's remove the damping. Again in the mix with the drums and the bass. especially during the triplet part, it becomes the mix a bit more bland. And I'm not used to that because I rarely use, again, I think I've never used reverb on guitars. Maybe when it's like only one guitar playing to make it a bit less dry, but in the mix, personally haven't done that. So again, there you have it. So that's, I think, personally, a cool reverb. I mean, you could put it on guitars, maybe even get that bit of a more Van Halen sound where it's a bit more roomy, like Van Halen 1. So make sure to check it out. The cool new Sunset Studio Reverb 2 from IK Multimedia. Again, make sure you check out the link in the description box down below for my newsletter for the cool thing that's coming up. Don't worry, I'll talk about it soon enough, but make sure you're subscribed to the newsletter. That means a lot to me. I'll see you next time. Cheers.